Having a good one?
Hi. Please disregard. I attempted.
Could have just fast traveled too. I totally forgot I can do that. Just like I forgot to sell that Bridger. God damn it. Oh,
Yes?
well,
You
where's
need
Sarah?
something?
Probably in the living quarters. The one thing I do like about this ship is
Sometimes
that
I just
people
want to turn off the
generally
grav
hang out
drive
where
so
they're
we can float
supposed to.
around.
But generally. That's the first time I've seen anybody in that part of the ship.
Hey there.
Yeah,
I
so
hope
now we
you're
got
well.
everybody everywhere. Who's in the living quarters? Nobody. Yeah, interesting.
Happy to listen.
Sarah?
So, I've given everything we've discussed a lot of thought, and I've decided I'd like Aja Mamasa to conduct our marriage ceremony.
Who's Aja again?
You're kidding, right? She was the
been
former
like a year.
chair of Constellation. The one that passed the torch to me about 5 years ago? We've talked about it before. Come on, stay with me.
And why have Aja oversee the ceremony?
I remember Aja mentioning she presided over a previous commitment ceremony between Barrett and his husband Irvin. Besides, the thought that Aja would be there to officiate this important step in my life is comforting. I hope you don't mind.
Well, sure, but I have to admit it makes me a bit jealous.
Hey now, come on. There's no need to be jealous. Aja was a trusted mentor, and at best, a friend. She doesn't even come close to how deeply I feel about you. So, with that settled, I suppose we just keep it a quiet ceremony? Just the two of us?
Don't you want to invite anyone from Constellation?
Honestly, no. I respect everyone at Constellation, but this is part of my personal life. If it's all the same to you, I'd like to keep my personal feelings about us separate from Constellation.
That's bizarre. I'm like, I get so many mixed messages from these people. Like, what are they friends? Are they just coworkers? Does everyone there fucking hate each other? Like, I don't understand. It's so strange. Well, I think we should invite Sona.
Oh, that's sweet of you to suggest, but I think bringing Sona all the way to Aja's home would be too much anxiety for the poor girl. We need to give her some time.
I think you are just wrong about that, because Sona really wants to come on the ship and go out exploring. Because that's what she says every time that we go into the lodge. She's like, I can't wait to go adventuring with you guys. Like, come on. That's such a bullshit cop-out. I think we should invite your mother.
If anyone else had suggested that, I'd say no. But hearing it from you, I know in my heart that it's the right thing to do. I'll send her an invite and we'll see if she shows. Anyone else? Or will the three of us with Aja presiding be enough?
I think that's enough, yeah. Sounds cozy. I think that'll be very nice.
All right, it's settled then. I'll send a message to Aja asking for her to preside over the ceremony. As soon as you're ready, let's head to Paradiso. I can't tell you how much this means to me. I love you.
Ah, okay. Now following
When
you
have
until
a
we
few
head there.
moments, there's something I'd like to discuss. Handling those tricky decisions regarding Ryujin must have been difficult. In fact, I'm amazed you were able to deal with him at all. Those types of corporations remind me why I never ventured into business. I can't stand that way of life.
And what way of life is that?
The moral ambiguity, the deceit, the avarice. Megacorporations seem to exude a complete disregard for common human decency.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's disgusting.
It is disgusting. And I'm pleased you recognized that Ryujin almost made a grievous error in judgment. After all, based on your recommendation, they've ceased their work on that disturbing neuroamp technology.
Why does neuroamp technology frighten you so much?
You mean other than the fact that it can turn a free-willed human being into a mindless automaton? For you to even ask me that question means you're completely blind to the implications of that horrid device.
Okay, relax. Oh, that's a weird way to put it. A non-lethal way to stop your enemy. I mean, that is true. That is how I avoided killing a lot of people. But it is also how I managed to get someone killed in that scenario, so... Well, I'm happy you approve of my decision.
Why wouldn't I be pleased about your decision? Can you imagine if that technology had fallen into the wrong hands? The awful things you could force people to do. Oh, it's terribly frightening.
What sort of awful things are you talking about?
How about making someone forcibly end their own life? Or worse,
Man, I wish I
pick
could!
up a weapon and start shooting at innocent people. Taking control
wish
of
I
someone's
could.
mind and implanting suggestions is a terrifying prospect of this weapon.
See, because I'm pretty sure you can do that in Cyberpunk. You can, like, manipulate someone to basically make them kill themselves. I don't think you can do that in this, unless you can manipulate them to, like, jump off a cliff, but I don't even think that that's pathingly possible. But, agreed. The negatives are... I almost said the negatives are completely outweigh. I'm like, oh, jeez. Agreed. The negatives completely outweigh the positives.
Yes, quite. Well, I've certainly taken up enough of your time. Thanks for letting me get that off my mind.
Can I ask her anything else about the
Always
wedding?
a pleasure. If it means I get to spend more time with you, then ask away.
Nope,
Leaving?
nothing.
Oh, I see how it is.
It's a strange feeling, knowing you're living through something.
Well, guess we're gonna go get married. Might as well, right? Like, what's really stopping us? I do just want to see the ship take off. Ah, it looks so cool. Such a nice ship. Such a nice ship. I do really think they missed out on a lot of
orbit. What
a lot of interesting ship designs based on the fact that you can't really like fuse pieces together. I don't think people really would have minded, mostly because, I mean, look at this thing. Look at how many pieces are fused together and how little I care about that. Like, it just looks cool. It looks so much better than it would have otherwise. Alright, let's head to Paradiso. Oh, that's Charybdis. Hold on. Wrong quest. Commitment. I do find it interesting that she wants to get married on Paradiso. I don't know why. Don't know why she would want to do that. I mean, I guess it's a nice, idyllic environment, but there's other idyllic places we could go to as well.
Oh, look at this world. It's beautiful. Just beautiful.
It's the middle of the night, Sarah. It looks trashy as hell with that big Paradiso sign on it. Can we wait for a minute? Is she gonna follow me? Yes, okay, cool. Let's go find a chair and sit and wait for the sun to come up before we get married. Like for real.
Paradiso security is only here for your safety. Pretend we're not even here.
The other problem too is that I can never actually tell when, like, time passes on these planets. Alright, so time is much, much slower here, which I guess makes sense for a vacation spot. You want to take up more time in the vacation than you would outside. But I don't know when the sun rises here. I mean, there's local time and there's UT time, so I'm assuming the nights here are much, much longer. So this should put us at about, like, 5 in the morning, right? And it is still pitch black outside. So let's wait another 5, maybe another 10 hours? I don't know. When does the sun come up? That's the other thing. Rotational differences in the planets. Okay, sun's up. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Wow, that was quick. Yeah, the transitionary periods as well for this game are pretty fast. Like, it's very hard to catch a sunrise, especially if you don't know when it happens on a planet.
As we were landing, I picked up a message from Aja. She said to meet us at the park overlooking the ocean. Before we go to the ceremony, I want you to look me in the eyes and tell me this is exactly what you want.
Oh, jeez. Why would you ask me that?
I don't know. I suppose I'm worried that I'm forcing you down a path you don't want to travel. Yeah, I know.
I asked you.
It's stupid. But you've done so much for me already. I almost feel like you'd marry me just to make me happy, despite your own feelings.
Jesus. That's kind of dour. I mean, I guess that lines up with what our character said at the memorial. I'm only saying these things to make you happy. Like, Jesus. What a terrible line of dialogue. But I almost appreciate it a little bit more because it now affected her like this, that she's almost unsure that I even want that. I want to spend the rest of my life with you, Sarah Morgan.
I just melt when I hear you say things like that to me. I love you, and I'm forever thankful to have someone as amazing as you in my life. Now come on. Aja is waiting for us. But first, we should probably say something to my mother.
Is she here? Abigail.
So,
can I ask her about
what's
that?
new with you today? It was
Well, I
nice
guess
talking
not.
to you again.
Alright, let's go. Paradiso is a nice looking place. I'm not too crazy about the red trees. Like what, there was some toxic environment planet that I visited recently, and I loved the way it looked far more than I like this place. Something about the red trees here is just bizarre. Also, what's the gravity here? 1.24. A heavier gravity planet. I wouldn't want to come here. Like, genuinely. I would not want to come here. To vacation, like, oh yeah, you gotta struggle harder with your luggage? No thanks. Imagine trekking through the sand in heavier gravity. That'd be miserable. Oh, cesium, though. I will say, it's a nice little beach town. Is that Aja? Yeah. This is her mother,
It certainly
huh?
was nice of you to think of me when sending invitations to my daughter's wedding.
It's good to see you too, Mum.
I just wish you would have given me more notice. Or maybe some time to get to know your dear partner. I barely even know his name.
Oh man, I don't want to be a douche. Maybe you could try being a little more supportive of your daughter on her wedding day.
You're right. I'm sorry. I haven't heard from Sarah in some time, and this was all a lot to take in all at once. Like any
That was
mother,
a big nuts move, and it paid off.
I just
Holy
want what's
crap.
best for my daughter. As long as she's happy, I will be too. I apologize for adding any stress to your special day, my dears.
Well, I'm Jacob Howell. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mrs. Morgan.
And what a pleasure to meet you too, my dear. I'm sure you and Sarah have much to tell me about your relationship, how you met, fell in love, and all of that. But it can wait until later.
Wow, you two are hitting it off better than I imagined. I'll definitely be happy to fill you in with all the details after the ceremony. Anyway, I'm sorry, Mum. I know how this must all seem to you. This was a sudden decision, and we didn't want to waste any more time. We wanted to keep the ceremony small and involve only the people I care about the most.
Sarah,
Just your
dear.
mother.
You're going to make me tear up before the ceremony even starts. I
Her
want you
father
to know
dead?
that even though I don't say it as often as I should, I love you very much. I'm delighted to be here, and I wouldn't miss this for the world.
I love you too, Mum. Thank you so much for being here. There will be loads more to talk about later. But for now, let's not keep poor Aja waiting.
Waiting until everyone arrives. Just a few moments
This is
for
everyone,
everyone
is it
to
not?
take their places.
Hey there. Glad to see you again. You be careful, okay?
As soon as everyone is present, we will begin.
You two should probably focus on your ceremony.
Oh, hold on. Any embarrassing stories you can tell me about Sarah growing up?
Oh, gosh, really? We're doing this, are we?
Oh, can I? When Sarah was 6, I believe, she lost her second tooth, but this time she actually lost it. I forget how it happened exactly, but it ended up going out with the waste as we were flying between Jemison and... Oh, I forget where. It's not important. She was so distraught. Mummy, what if the tooth fairy doesn't know I lost a tooth and doesn't come? She cried. So I told her to write a note and leave it under her pillow for the tooth fairy. So she ended up explaining what had happened and begged the tooth fairy for a spaceship so she could go off and find her lost tooth for her. It was adorable.
Thanks, Mother. Thanks for that.
I wonder if I can ask again and get a different one. I know it might be too late, but do I have your approval to marry your daughter?
Oh, don't be silly. Of course you do, my dear. If there's one thing I know about Sarah, it's that she doesn't settle on anything lightly. Her attraction to you must be genuine, and therefore, I trust her completely when she says she's found the one. Now go on. Marry the poor girl. She's waited long enough.
Your relationship with Sarah hasn't always been close. What happened?
Mostly the physical distance between us. It wasn't intentional, I'll have you know. Our lives simply diverged as she grew older. You may not know this, but we had different plans for her when she was growing up.
Oh,
I've
I know.
since come to terms and accepted that she didn't want to follow in her parents' footsteps. Perhaps... She needs to hear it from me. I need to make it more clear to her that I'm proud of her, regardless of her choices. I need to, if I want to be closer to my daughter and her new partner. I guess we're done for now.
For
We're
now.
waiting until everyone arrives. It's so lovely to see you, Sarah.
It's wonderful to see you too, Aja. This is the one I told you about.
I've heard a lot about you. All of it good. You're quite a catch.
10 seconds in and already you're embarrassing everyone.
Before we go any further, I just want to make sure that you are right for Sarah. She's quite special, hmm?
Oh, and who are you to make that decision? I know she deserves better, but I'll have to do. She's more than special. She's one of a kind.
Oh, God. Now you're embarrassing me.
That's called love, my dear. You better get used to it. Well, I've seen enough. I can read people the moment I lay eyes on them. And you're going to make Sarah quite happy.
Coming from you, Aja, that means a lot.
Of course, Sarah. You know I always look out for you. Now, are we ready to begin the ceremony?
I'm ready.
Very well. If everyone's ready, then I'll begin. It's been years since Sarah Morgan and I have spoken. And though it might appear that we've grown apart, I feel that we've become closer friends than ever before. When I received the message with Sarah's intent to marry, and that she wanted me to officiate the ceremony, I was overwhelmed with joy. Not because she had decided to rekindle our friendship, but because she was allowing me to share the happiest moment of her life. I can't imagine a greater honor. And for that, Sarah, I thank you.
I wouldn't have had it any other way, Aja.
Before you present your vows, I'd ask both of you to remember that love is what brought you together today. It is a foundation upon which a structure of trust, faith, and affirmation is built. This structure can be absolutely impenetrable if you both agree to love each other unconditionally with faith, devotion, and acceptance. And most importantly, to allow yourself to be loved. Remember, there are no other bonds more meaningful than the one you are undertaking today. You should cherish this moment and hold it close to your hearts as a reminder of the love you share. If you both are willing to abide by these words, then you can be assured that your lives will be filled with joy and happiness forever.
That was beautiful, Aja. Thank you.
Did you need a moment, Sarah?
No, I'm fine. But I wanted to say something before you continue. When we stood beside that waterfall in New Atlantis, you told me that I needed to forget the past and focus on what I have right now. I swear, with every fiber of my being, that the past will no longer be an obstacle in my life. And I will honor your words by focusing my affection on the most important thing in my life. You. This is my solemn pledge to you. From deep within my heart, from deep within my soul, for all eternity.
And you? Did you have anything you wanted to say to Sarah?
No. Oh, man. I don't know what to say. I wouldn't know what to say, because she just had a 3-paragraph essay, and I've just got a 1-sentence response. That's so lame. I promise to love you, honor you, respect you, and cherish you forever.
Thank you.
Oh, no, I do get to go on. Okay, cool. Whatever challenges life throws in our path, You can be certain that we will shoulder those burdens together.
I'm going to hold you to that promise.
You had a gift, Sarah?
Yes.
What?
I wanted you to
Gift?
have this as a token of our love. I'm
I
giving
didn't know we were
this
supposed to have
you
gifts.
as a symbol of the clean break I've made from my past.
Oh.
Oh, it would have been impossible without your help. And for that, I'll be forever grateful.
With these promises of affection and these
Okay.
vows you've exchanged, by the power vested in me by the Articles of Constellation, I happily pronounce you life mates. Congratulations!
Aja, I don't know what to say. That was... oh, amazing. I couldn't imagine having this ceremony without you.
I'm glad everything worked out for you, Sarah. I'm only sorry that we waited so long to reach out and contact one another.
Is there any way I can repay you for all the trouble?
That isn't necessary. This was my gift to the both of you. Well, you're both welcome to stay here for as long as you like. Sarah, your mother will be staying here with me for a few weeks. We've actually got a lot more in common than I expected. So, I guess this is goodbye for now. I wish the both of you a happy and healthy life together.
I'll never forget this, Aja. Thank you.
I would hope
I'm
not.
happy to host Abigail here at my home. She's quite charming. Hmm? Don't worry. I know how new in-laws can be. I'll try to work on her for you and Sarah.
So, what do you think of Paradiso?
You have to ask? Look at the place. It's absolute paradise. I can spend my day at the beach, relax with a cool drink and catch up on some reading, enjoy the cuisine, whatever my heart desires. I haven't even traveled off-world since I arrived. Hell, I haven't even boarded a spacecraft. It's so wonderfully liberating. Moving to Paradiso was one of the best decisions I made in my entire life.
Huh. So, why did you decide to leave Constellation?
I was chair of Constellation for 35 years. I was there for all the
Jesus.
low points and all the high. I kept Constellation out of the colony war, made some incredible discoveries, and recruited some of the most amazing explorers in the settled systems. I just finally reached a point where I felt I'd done enough. And it was time to give Sarah a chance. And I have no regrets either. If you're expecting controversy or some sort of political reason, I can assure you, it doesn't exist. And between you and me, I'm not getting any younger, eh?
You don't
And
look
this
very
tired
old.
old woman wanted to enjoy the sunset of her life on this beautiful world.
So, what was Sarah like when she apprenticed with you at Constellation?
She was a royal pain in the butt. That's what she was. Hot-headed, impulsive, eager to rush into things without examining the ramifications, eh? Honestly, a lot like I was at her age. Her hunger to explore the void was the most fervent I'd seen in my years at Constellation. There wasn't a single assignment she'd refuse. All in all, though, she was one of the best explorers I've traveled with. And I'd wager that holds true up to today. That woman has a good head on her shoulders. You should count yourself lucky to be a part of her life. Have a truly pleasant day.
You and I really do hope you're truly the one for my daughter.
What did you think of the wedding?
It was not quite what I had imagined for Sarah. I thought it would be a grand affair with hundreds of friends and extended family gathered to celebrate. But
Yeah, I kind of figured that
given
too.
her history, I should say I'm not entirely surprised she chose something completely different. However, Despite that, I must say that this was truly something special. It was quite splendid. Just the two of you, myself, and Aja. From the bottom of my heart. Thank you again for having me.
Any embarrassing stories?
Oh, gosh, really?
Oh, yeah. When Sarah was 6, I forget how it
Ah,
happened.
it's the same one.
She was so so she ended up
Thanks, Mother. Just
I was hoping there'd be
Bye
more.
then, dear.
let me guess. You missed me and you couldn't stay away.
How you feeling about the marriage?
I wouldn't trade my life with you for anything else in the universe.
Our marriage isn't working out. Yeah, those words mean everything to me, Sarah.
If it keeps us close, then I'll gladly say those words every time you ask.
To save on dialogue and
The
budget.
two of us make quite the pair, eh? Ask whatever you'd like.
No,
Oh,
nothing
I love our
new.
little chats. You know how to make a woman feel special.
It's so bizarre. So bizarre. Well, we're married now. We got ye old ball and chain. Is she just gonna stand there? Okay, no, she's coming. She's coming. Alright. Well, that was kind of nice, actually. I was kind of shocked at how, like, relatively well done that was. But, let's hit up... Oh man, where is it? Yeah, there it is. The distress signal. To Caribbean, let's go.
I have things for you.
Repeating emergency request. Facility Crucible requires vital materials to sustain the mission. Transmitting coordinates on Paradiso 3.